Hello, welcome to another round of broad and destroying celebrities' faces for the sake of learning how to draw. Starting with Dollar Tree Peaky Blinders guy. Michael Jackson, but not Michael Jackson, it's actually Timothy Chalamet. And finally, my personal favorite, Tom Hiddleston, who looks like a corn farming meth addict. I promise, although it looks like I wasn't trying this challenge, I promise that I was, as sad as it is. I did not mean to butcher all of these celebrities' faces this badly, but I underestimated the power of charcoal art, so... Before starting this challenge, my way of learning how to draw charcoal art was really just watching a bunch of YouTube videos. I read a bunch of blogs on it, but there is really only so much you can do to watch and read before you actually have to just go out and do it yourself. So I wasn't even planning on putting my first day in the video. I actually did it before the first day. I was too excited and I just went for it. It was so bad, but the worst part is the next day, the actual first day, wasn't even any better, arguably worse, so I just kept both. But you can see how rough it is. So you'll be able to see on the first day that I just used the charcoal pencil, not the actual charcoal that you, the charcoal that you rip out of the fire and just start drawing with it, you know what I mean? Sorry, I don't know the actual technical term for it. The actual first day, you can see that I actually used the charcoal, and that just turned out absolutely horrendous. For the second and third days, I decided to take a step back and just get back into what I'm usually good at, which is drawing trees and stuff, and I drew a figurine, and that turned out somehow much better than any of the portraits I drew this month. But yeah, so I drew those for the first 2 days. So after that, I decided to get more in depth into charcoal art, and I started watching videos on how to draw proper charcoal art. So basically the essence of it is instead of drawing lines around it, you just go for the darker shades first and then work the face out of the charcoal mess that you've made. That's basically the gist of what I got from all the videos I watched. I watched them a long time ago, so this I'm filming this quite a while after, so I'm just giving you the idea. But basically you draw the features of the eyes where the shadows in the face are, and then you take the face out of the charcoal. It's weird, but I really tried. And it wasn't even bad. The guy looks a little mess, I'm looking at it now. Looks looks a little strange, but it's better than the stuff that I came up with after. So this was a tutorial, I'll link it down below, but it's a tutorial on just how to draw a charcoal face, basically. The next one, I don't even want to show it because it's just so bad. They look this poor lady that I drew looks like a victim of the Black Plague. It's so bad. And I just the eyes are all wonky and she's so asymmetrical. I'm how did I even manage to do this? But it happened and it's there. So I'm just gonna put it in the video, even though it's pretty horrific, but what can you do? So the first celebrity I drew was actually Molly Ringwald. She's from The Breakfast Club, and I drew her older. She's obviously a grown woman now. I drew that one of her because it had good shadows in the face. Obviously, I put way too many shadows on her face, way too many. The next day was actually Angelina Jolie. Screwed that one up real bad. I mean, you can see over the course of this entire charcoal journey that I draw the nose way too small, the eyes way too big, and I make the cheekbones so sharp. Everything is just out of proportion. It's because I'm drawing the faces without actually drawing lines. You know, in art class where you learn proportion and where to put the features. The thing is, with charcoal, none of the videos said to do that. You're just going for it. You know, you draw the features out of the charcoal. The issue is I'm so bad at knowing where the proportions are, or knowing what eye size are, or the nose or the mouth is without the lines, or measuring things, that it just turns out like this. So yeah. The next face I drew was Robert Pattinson. It's rough. If you showed me the picture and then maybe showed me that, I'd be yeah, not really, you know. It's really rough. I drew it with red because I had the red charcoal, but it's not, I don't know if it's charcoal, is it clay? I shouldn't say that. I don't know if clay's red, you know what I'm saying? But like, I drew it with the red because I was like, why not? I think this is the only one I drew in red too. But I like the red, I think it's fun. But it's not really charcoal-esque, you know what I'm saying? The next one I drew was actually one of those Greek statues. I'm not even sure who this is or what the statue was depicting, but I wanted one of these because it had good shadows on the face. There were no freckles or any, like, it was just very solid. Like, I needed something that had like good proportions, very smooth, that I could just like try and draw. It had like shadows that I could see on the picture, so I was like, this seems like a good one. Honestly, it's not as terrible as the rest, so like, I'll take it. But it's pretty rough still. The next actor I decided to draw, actress actually, was the girl from Anne of Green Gables. I actually don't remember her name. Let me look that up right now. Okay, I believe it's Amy Beth McNulty. I think that's how you say it. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but I drew her, and it's also really rough, like, as you can see. But I got this one, the proportions weren't completely outrageous, which is, I guess, a plus. The next person is actually Rami Malek. I actually don't know how to say his name properly as well, but I really wanted to draw him because he has such an interesting face structure, and like, I really liked it. I butchered his face too, but like, honestly, you can kind of see it, kind of. Like, I drew the charcoal so bad. It looks like they have bruises on their face because my charcoal is just so dark. That's the rough part. His eyes are way too big too. Once again, I made the nose too small. The face is off as well. Like, everything's just a little, like, a lot off. What am I saying? The next actress is, you're not even gonna be able to guess this one. It's really rough. Like, I asked my friends and family to just like tell me who you think these actors and actresses are, and or celebrities. I think I drew just a couple celebrities, but anyway. This one, no one could get it, and it's Zendaya, which is, I can see why. I did her face structure completely wrong. I did the eyes wrong. Like, as you can tell, I don't put a lot of effort into the hair, and I realized later that I don't spend enough time on these. Like, I do them rushed because I think it's like the whole charcoal thing and just like roughing it out, like etching a face out. So I felt like if I went slowly that it just wouldn't have that like charcoal look, which is completely wrong. Like, I don't know why I was like, let me just do this really quickly. So I was doing these in like under 30 minutes, obviously. Like, they don't look like I spent a lot of time on any of them. And now we're getting to Peter Jackson. I actually really like this drawing. It's one of the only ones I like. It's not perfect, obviously. None of them are perfect, but he has good shading on his face, and his eyes look kind and not psychotic like the rest of them. His features aren't like super out there. Like, they're relatively okay with his face in the photo that I chose. So I actually really like this one. Not because it's great or anything, but because it actually kind of looks like him, and I like that. So yeah, this is one of my better ones. All right, now we've gotten to one of the great ones, which is Timothée Chalamet. And you might be wondering how I managed to make these cheekbones just so sharp, like sharp enough to just like cut through steel. You know, this guy's cheekbones are like right in his face. They're rough. Anyway, I think I made the hair too curly, and the cheekbones too prominent, and that's why he looks like Michael Jackson. Maybe everything just looks like, I should have just told you it's Michael Jackson, and then you maybe would have been like, yeah, that looks like Michael Jackson. But yeah, no, it's Timothée Chalamet. And I tried. The next one here is actually the beautiful Tom Hiddleston that I absolutely butchered down. And with this one, I actually tried to do the proportions first because I realized that my proportions were just so bad that like I tried my best to draw it out properly. I don't know how this ended up so bad, even with me doing that. But I managed to do it. And I think it really was the smile. And you can see for every single one of the other like photos I've done or portraits I've done, none of them have an open smile anymore because I would remove it. Like, if they had a smile in the photo, I'd be like, not that again. Like, we're not doing the teeth. So I got rid of the teeth. It also doesn't help that he has like absolutely no lips and his eyes seem absolutely psychotic. Like, it kind of looks like, what's his name? Loki. A very rough rendition of Loki. The crackhead version of Loki, you could say. All right, now we've gone into Peaky Blinders guy. I actually don't know what his name is. I think it's Thomas Shelby in the actual like thing, in the actual show. But I haven't even watched it. I just like saw this guy and I was like, wow, that's a very interesting face. And I was like, that's what I'm gonna draw. And I drew him. He's rough. Like, I made his face really dark. I didn't use like the lines because like I kept watching videos on charcoal art and like no one was using measurements. So I just was like, I just gotta figure it out. But I just don't think I'm that good enough as an artist to be able to just do it, you know? Just to be able to sketch a face out of charcoal. So like after this point, I kind of realized after drawing Peaky Blinders guy that I need the proportions because it's just too hard to do it without them. So we get to Billie Eilish, who I tried to draw the proportions for beforehand. So I actually outlined her face, which is I think the wrong thing to do anyway, is outlining. So I outlined her face and then I started drawing with the charcoal. And it's honestly, it's one of the better ones, sadly, but you can tell it's just off. Like I think the proportions are off. Like her lips are so far away from her nose and her cheeks are too big. I just like, the hair is obviously terrible. Like I can't draw hair. And I think I realized that later that I can't draw hair, or I just don't have the patience to draw hair. Pretty bad. But anyway, at this point I just realized I was like, I need to draw with proportions. So for my last one, I think this is easily the best one that I've drawn. And that is Suga or Yoongi from BTS. As like with Thomas Shelby, the guy from Peaky Blinders, Timothy Chalamet, like these people, or like the girl Anne with an E girl, like, you know, you get those like faces that I just want to draw with charcoal. And so he had a good one. Like honestly, I drew this one the best because I just threw out everything I thought I knew about charcoal out the window. I spent a lot of time on it. I tried my best to like not make the charcoal too dark. I drew everything. I redrew him a couple times just because I was like, I can't screw this up that badly. So it doesn't look like him, but like it's bearable. Like it looks okay. And I'm happy with that because I at least have one at the end of this month. I have one that I can just like show and be like, I'm relatively average at charcoal art. Even just cover up all the other 30 days that I did, or like what, 20? I didn't do it every single day because it took me a while, but at least I can say I did one, relatively average. And yeah, that was my last one, but at the end of the day, I learned a lot. I don't think I got much better. I think it was just the last one. I didn't draw hair for the last one. Obviously, I picked a photo of him that didn't have hair, like very deliberately, because I was like, there's no way in hell I'm drawing hair again. I spent way more time, and proportions is just something I have to do. Like I'm just not good enough as an artist to be able to just draw straight out of charcoal, straight out of the smudges that I draw. It doesn't work for me. And so yeah, like any tips, recommendations, let me know. I know it's very rough, but like I really tried my best with this one. This was a very hard challenge, much harder than I thought it would be. So, but thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the absolute chaos of this video and torture of seeing those celebrities' faces. But I hope you enjoyed, and leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!